Hello everyone, my name is Shanae Jones and this is KNKY, which stands for Know the New Kinky You. I am your resident certified sex coach. I am certified through Sex Coach University and a member of the World Association of Sex Coaches. There is such a thing. If you did not know, please feel free to Google it. I say Google everything, I don't know why. Anyway, our conversation is an extension of our last conversation, which was really talking about sex during pregnancy and the impact of sex during pregnancy. So, baby's here, newborn, toddler. That baby requires a lot of attention. And I've had some recent posts about, what happens to your boobs during sex, your breast during sex. And your breasts become highly sensitive, but I will tell you, at least for me and the women that I've talked to, post-pregnancy, your breasts become like this conflicted area of your body, because whereas before your breasts were sexual in nature, they help to define your physique and how you looked at yourself, right? It helped to create sexual stimuli for yourself and your partner. Perhaps you really enjoyed being touched or having your nipples sucked or bitten or something like that. Now, after you've had this child who you love and you want to nourish, your breasts become this food pump. It becomes a food pump where you're doing your best, because trust and believe, not all of us produce milk like that. We're not cows. We just don't have it in us all the time. Some of us struggle with producing milk, and it can that in itself can wreak havoc on our mental capacity, on why it is that we can't do something that is so supposedly natural, something that we are supposed to be able to do. And it can cause stress. It can cause, and we just talked about stress on our live for tonight. And stress comes from all kinds of places. Postpartum depression can happen because we're unable to produce milk, because we should be able to feed our children. There's a lot of shit that happens once we have a baby, and sex can be impacted by things for a couple of reasons. So one, if you were used to breasts being fondled or sucked and things like that, you might feel, or he might feel, or there might be this whole positioning of, well, these aren't for you anymore. They're for the baby. They're the milk that it takes a lot of work to produce this milk. So it's not for you anymore. That can cause a man to feel neglected, rejected, and a whole bunch of other ids. It can do that. So we have to be careful about how it is that we approach our breasts and the sensual and sexual part of our breast once we have a baby. The other things to consider is that we're tired. Not just we as women, but everybody's tired. Babies don't sleep through the night when they're first born. They sleep a couple hours, they wake up, they need to be fed, they need to be played with, they need to be coddled, they need kissed, all that stuff. And then next thing you know, you try to go back to sleep, you go to sleep for a little bit, baby's back up. And as they get older, it doesn't get better. It's that, like I said it earlier, it's that double-edged sword. Like, you want them to grow up and become more independent and become little people. But as toddlers, they're just like babies. They still need you. They still need you. And so our energy levels dissipate. We become complacent in the fact that we're just parents, and we tend to forget about each other. We tend to forget that, hey, I haven't touched you, I haven't kissed you, I haven't felt you in a day or two or three or a week. And then it becomes longer and longer and longer. That's not the position we want to be in. And I did a recent series, so if you haven't seen it, please go back and look at it. What does our sexuality look like from the child's perspective? Our children pay attention to everything that we do. I'm sure if you have kids or if you've been around kids, you know that the moment you say a curse word, it's coming out their mouth. It is. And I don't even like to call them curse words. I call them adult words, because they are words that perhaps it's appropriate for an adult to say in the moment that they are saying it, but it's not appropriate for a child to say. So a curse word, no. An adult word, yes. I'm good with that one. What we find is that as children mature, they have questions. We had questions. Did we have somebody that we could ask those questions to? Maybe, maybe not. A lot of us didn't. And so now, luckily or unluckily, I am in a position to be able to help people with their sexual questions, sexual issues, sexual concerns, sexual development that they want to do. But it doesn't start at our adulthood. It starts at our adolescence. So when we're starting to talk to our children, our little ones, just recognize their behavior and help them understand what it is that they're going through. I promise you, if you had it, if you didn't have it coming up, and you wish you did, you're doing your children a disservice by not sharing that with them, by not being an advocate and an open partner with them to be able to figure this shit out. Because doing it on their own or doing it based off the internet, oh no, I know I just told you to Google it, but doing it based on the internet is not going to teach them what they need to know. Having sex as a young adult, we kind of mimic what we see. So if you are in a mom, dad, dad, mom, dad, whatever the configuration of your family is, when you show affection, when you are kissing and touching each other in public around your kids, although they might be slightly embarrassed, it shows them that it's okay. This is appropriate and okay behavior, and there's nothing wrong with it. And you go ahead and you teach your children as they become adults that those things are things that are meant to happen, that you should show love and affection, that you should show intimacy. And intimacy, again, is not just foreplay and oral sex or, all those things that happen before penetration. It's not that. Intimacy is the holding hands and the hugging and the kissing and the being close to each other, showing that love and affection. If you find yourself in a position where you've just had a young child and they are a baby or a toddler and you want to have sex, make sure you make time for that. Because if you don't, all you're going to do is blame it on, I'm stressed out and I didn't have time, and all these other things were in the way, and you don't want that. I promise you, you don't. So make time for each other, make time for the kids. It's not a competition. You will thrive if you do what you're supposed to do. I'm Shanae Jones. This is King KY, which stands for No Than the Kinky You. I am across all social media, the website, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook, everything is DOYOUKNKY. I appreciate you. Thank you, and I will see you next time.